glad you're having a good visit time. Let's pause for a moment though and remember those who have already have gone on to their reward. And we have a table over here. I hope you had a chance to give attention to it. First of all, our priceless homeroom mothers who chaperoned our fun and chaperoned us on events and worked as fundraisers for our class and called us back to order when we got out of hand occasionally. But they blessed us. Adeline King, I have the name here, Diddy. I never heard that before. I grew up knowing her as Tiptoes, but Randy's mother, of course, and then Carrie Martin, Lynn's mother, and Thelma Lowe, Debbie's mother, and Madeline Tusing, Carrie's mother, and grandmother, and they all blessed us, and were part of our world in our growing years. And the last event, Randy's mother was able to be here, and I'm so pleased that she was able to come and be a part of that. And then there were our classmates. Not all of the ones represented here graduated with us, but they were part of our class. Just kind of like there's some tonight who are here. They didn't have the privilege of graduating with us, but they were part of our class. Jerry Wolf spent a lot of class time in close proximity to me because our last name began with W. And so we spent a lot of time together, and usually in the back of the room where W sat. And I always liked Jerry, and though more than once I wondered if my close proximity to him would get me in trouble. What I mean by that, he's full of mischief and full of life. And I wish he was here tonight. I miss Jerry. Martha Wilson also started the W, and I actually got to know her best in Mr. Smith's history class. We sat on the back row together, and she gave me creative writing drafts. And she's hoping to get published one of these days, and I think she enjoyed watching me blush. Luella West was always easy to have as a friend. She seemed to be upbeat and cheerful, at least in my experience of her, and I miss her, and I'm sorry that she has already left us. Kathy Floyd. What's that?
She dressed a great dresser.
Yeah.
She had a wonderful.
Had a great dress. Yeah, she was good with style. Kathy Floyd. Early on, I didn't know Kathy very well. She always seemed to be very popular with the guys. The guys were either hitting on her or they're daydreaming about hitting on her. And I actually got acquainted with her best in playing geometry.
Oh, surely not.
That was not her strength. What's that?
Surely not.
That was not her strength. And she would come to me for questions and answers. And what really touched me about Kathy was her tender heart. And I learned about it when I broke my leg, and she cried. And she hardly knew me, but she touched me as having a very tender heart. And at the 40th reunion, she talked with me quite a bit about her faith, and I was saddened to watch her battle with cancer, and I miss her. Barbara Bartholow, Pratt. Barbara always impressed me as someone who had an angelic quality about her. Now, I didn't know Barbara real well, but she was very quiet, pleasantly attractive, and she was typically, I think the word pretty really characterized her. And she seemed quite a contrast to her younger sister in a lot of ways. Her sister was very mischievous and full of life and quite a flirt. And I'm sorry to hear just recently of Barbara's death. I had not known about that. And Mary Dunham. Mary did not graduate, but she disappeared, I think, after 6th grade. She moved away. She died within the last couple of years.
About the 8th grade.
8th or 9th grade.
Yeah.
And you remember Charlie Brown comic, and the little red-headed girl, and he was sweet on her. Well, every time I saw that cartoon, I thought of Mary. Because in 6th grade, I had a real crush on Mary. Like Charlie Brown, I was far too shy to ever tell her. And when I heard recently about her death, I logged on to her obituary, and I was so pleased to hear how she'd spent her life teaching children and being active in faith. And I was very pleased with that. We were blessed to have these people as part of our lives, and we are blessed to have each other as part of our lives. And I pray that as each of you walk out the rest of your days, that you will capitalize on these friendships and make the most of it. And there's some here tonight who did not make it 10 years ago, and I'm just very pleased you're here, and we're able to see you again and celebrate this event with you tonight. I just want to take a minute for that. Yes.
Jimmy Dowdy.
Oh, Jimmy Dowdy. Yes, Jimmy Dowdy. I'm sorry I missed Jimmy Dowdy. I've got him on here. Jimmy Dowdy was so quiet, and he almost faded into the wallpaper. I made a very strong point about 10th grade, I think. Even though I've been going to school with Jimmy all my life, I made a strong point to get to know him, because it seemed like he was definitely not part of anybody's in-group. And he, in the 11th or 12th grade, I don't remember which grade, he caught most of us off guard. You probably remember this event. We were asked to give a speech in class, in English class. And Jimmy got up and he did a stand-up comic routine. I mean, I couldn't believe this was Jimmy Dowdy. But it was all self-deprecating. And he talked about, he was so thin that he had to stand sideways in the shower in order to get wet. And he had a whole slew of them like that. And I just could not believe that was Jimmy Dowdy, the Jimmy Dowdy I knew. But I would love to have known how he turned out long term. I had no more contact with him after high school. But we were blessed with Jimmy Dowdy. Thank you. Okay, now it's my turn. So what we've done is we've put together a little bit of a quiz thing here, and we're going to go back to 1967. We're going to see if you can remember what happened in 1967. We've got these little books up here to kind of help us along a little bit. One of them says 1966, because that's the year we started this journey, and also it's the only one Linda could find at the time. I found the 67 books when we were in Pennsylvania last week. Janet was up there in Pennsylvania last week. I found 67. So we've got some books up here. We're going to give these books away kind of as a prize if you can answer the question. So to get started, we're going to go back to 1967 national news. And in the national news, they announced the first microwave oven was in production, and it was produced by what name brand company?
Got it?
Okay, who said it first?
I did.
No, you didn't. Somebody else said it.
No, he did, because I was showing this.
Okay.
The radar range.
Right here. Here you go, radar. All right, now, this is a sports question, 1967 sports news.
The first Super Bowl game
I think it's 50.
that was played between what two teams?
Green Bay and Kansas City.
You can't win no more.
I quit giving the answer.
Okay, now it's a two-part question.
Who's the coach?
Okay, the two teams were,
I just told you.
okay, well, someone else.
Green Bay and Kansas City.
Okay, who won the game?
Green Bay.
All right, okay.
First two Super Bowls, Green Bay.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, he did.
All right, now, the next
Who
question.
was the coaches?
It's Lombardi.
Who was Kansas City?
Hank Stram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, in 1967, who was the president of the United States?
Johnson.
Richard Nixon.
Johnson.
Who said Johnson first? All right, now wait a minute, it's a two-part question.
Whose place did he take?
Who was the vice president? There you go. All right.
We don't want that.
Okay. All right, last but not least, y'all will remember this, I'm sure. At Snider's Exxon, down at the intersection of Barrackville, what was the price of a gallon of gasoline?
25 cents.
24 cents.
32.
34.
32.